Hello guys, how are you? It is near 8 on a Monday. The vlog is very much uploading, but it's still in 0% processing. I don't know if it's because my computer is half dying, like I had to like manually restart it again, so that was nice. It's just being extra slow, but in the meantime, let's go make some dinner. It's gonna be one of those of like what we got and then let's decide what to do. I think I'm gonna do something with pasta because I got broccoli that really needs used up. And I also have some mushrooms that also really needs used up. I do also have a bit of passata that needs to be used, but I kind of don't want to tomatoey of a sauce because I feel like we've been having that quite a lot recently. Found them. Smells so good. I love them on the vine. Some garlic. Is there anything else? I mean, there's some cheese, but we don't need it. I do have a little bit of Caesar sauce, so I might use that for saucing, or I'm just gonna put some milk and add some flour and make it a little bit thicker. And so I think pasta it is. Plus I have my basil that's slowly dying here, so well, it's not dying, it's wilting a little bit. But hey, welcome to the new vlog. Did I already say that? I hope that I did. This is literally me straight up after editing the vlog, so I can't really add anything else. If you've not seen my last vlog, it's obviously there, but I am currently technically in the middle of 4 books. One we don't speak about here because that project. I honestly just need to take a week off and just finish that project, but anyway. The rest are Kingdom of Souls. I have like around 80 pages until I finish that, but it's currently slumping me a little bit, so I'm going to avoid it until later down the week. And it's African inspired fantasy. It's a very much YA fantasy, I'd say, in my opinion. But I really like the setting and I really like the religions and the deities, but I just don't really vibe with the, what's it called, the writing style. It's this, like, the book reads to me like an inner monologue, and it's quite repetitive for the main themes without really moving anywhere with them. So I think, but I did literally yesterday start Timelines. I don't know, it bugs me, that name. Anyway, so, and I've read 30 pages of that just in like, you know, and I didn't want to stop, but I needed to go to bed, so I stopped. So I think my plan is to read that later today or tomorrow. Because I keep saying that and then I'm editing my vlogs and like, well, didn't I? And the next thing, and the next thing is Giant Days Volume 4. Hey, do you want to say hi? Whoop. Hello. Hello.
Chatty baby.
Cute. Hello, it is Tuesday. It's our anniversary. Hello, Momo. Just saw you. Hello. We're about to head out. It's raining and pissing outside, so that's nice. But we're about to get out and just to get some food from the shop. And we also decided to do that little thing because we're not really planning anything special at all. We're just gonna chill, have a chill time. But we thought we're gonna go and do that TikTok thing where you buy something for the other person's favorite color, favorite drink, snack, something something you want them to try, something you think they need, something like that. There's like a list, so we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna exchange it. Maybe I'll show it here. Literally just for funsies. And I think then a movie is on the cards, so you know, super busy. Very intense day. It's so dark outside because we were wanting to go to like Botanic Gardens, but no, we're just gonna stay at home, which is fine. We're back. We have the stuff.
How are you? Hope you're good.
We're both.
How are you? Hope you're
according
rude.
to the. Hope you what?
Hope you're rude.
Tell us what the first item is.
Favorite snack.
Favorite snack. Okay. Let me.
Yeah, mine is technically wrong because I didn't have it. right? But I got the closest thing to it.
Okay.
Okay.
So actually, I don't know if they'll see. Ready?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. They didn't have Raffaello, so.
I just got you a collection of gummies and jelly beans.
But jelly beans, yeah. Milk bottles,
and
yes.
Raffaellos.
Yeah, well, Ferrero Rocher, but yeah.
Whatever.
Favorite drink. 3, 2, 1. Specifically in a can. Because you like the experience of having a can.
I do, and all of the, how many is that?
8.
8.
Yeah.
You get one because I'm weak, I didn't want to carry more.
No, I was looking to see if they had them in bottles, because I think with like a glass bottle would be better, like a fancy ass drink.
I'm not ascended to that level yet.
If you had to drink Coca-Cola in the fanciest, most pleasurable way possible, it would be glass bottle.
You're not wrong. Did I get it right?
You did. Favorite colour.
Now so listen.
So mine doubles up with something I want you to try as well, because I get you something a particular colour. Like this is very much your aesthetic.
Okay. Okay. And I got you something, but like I don't know your favorite color, and you're the type of person that says that favorite color, having a favorite of a color is dumb. That I think is in the shades of the colors that you like. Although if I had to guess, I think it would be black. Okay.
Yeah, like
3.
Grey, steel, that kind of thing.
Yeah, grey is what I go. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
The entire aesthetic, gold and black and white.
Oh, what is that though?
These are chocolate and vanilla cheesecakes.
I think I've tried them.
G color.
I will try. I got you this.
I thought that was a towel.
No, it's like a shirt. It's very soft touch.
Yeah.
And I thought this was the color that you would like.
Yes.
And it's a bit maybe more blue than you would like, but they didn't have a big selection.
No, that's very much my color.
I can't believe you doubled up, but I'm also not surprised because it's a very Logan thing to do.
Yeah, I didn't know what. I was thinking like a bloody dish towel in those colors. That's what we would come out with.
All right, let's move on.
So we have something they need. One.
Aspirin.
Yep.
Oh, I actually got excited.
You did.
I got you socks because
my favorite snack. Here we go.
Because you never have like shorter socks, and they're also in your kind of favorite colors.
I think I'm appropriately enthused about these socks.
Okay,
they're good socks. Something that reminds you of the other. One.
Yay!
This is.
That could also be like almost a favorite snack. It's not quite.
You know, this has been like in the camera.
This is my favorite treat. Sis, what are you doing? Go down. Oh, but oh no.
No, Momo.
Momo, no. Momo, no.
What do you mean? Ah, the Uniball pens that I use all the time.
Because like, since through all of my life with you, like these have gone everywhere where you went.
Yeah.
Because you
it's
just leave them everywhere.
equivalent of like Kirby clips, like the hair clips.
Yeah.
Just leave them everywhere. Something you want the other to try. That was my cheesecakes.
I guess 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
It's like the same brand that did the cactus juice. I wanted to try this. This is the cactus brand.
I'll maybe even go as far as to say that the aloe vera is my favorite drink.
What's the next?
Something you need for the house. 1.
Yay!
More bowls.
I got us face towels that change into these plates, so that's all good. I love that you got me aspirin. What was this? Something I need?
Favorite snack.
No.
I'm not a fan of shorter socks.
I know you're not, but like sometimes you look dumb when you're walking in your your pants end up. You put your pants into long white socks.
It demonstrates to people that I can afford a full sock.
Ready for cozy? Hello. Welcome to Tuesday? No. Welcome to Wednesday. Okay. My dudes. Today, now. Oh, such a mess. I want to do a million things all at once, so there we are. I'm actually going to sit and make a little to-do list to begin with. That's my goal now. Let's do this. I've mentioned this briefly before, but around a year ago, I wanted to make a board game for the TBR thing. I couldn't find anything that wasn't done before. Not that I'm like, you know, like you gotta be original. You don't. Like, you know, like as long as all the credit is given to where the credit is due, it's fine. But all of the stuff, like a couple of things I wanted to do were kind of like done, and then I came up with an idea and I bought materials for the idea, and then my plans obviously changed because my channel has changed recently a lot. Even though I've decided to like skip this for a while to begin with because health reasons basically, like I just couldn't add something else into the mix. However, I'm past my biggest migraine spell and having some better days currently. Like, I don't know how long this is gonna last. And I completely gave up on the TBR game idea until I came up with another one. And now it's taken over my mind and I feel like I need to do it even if it's not gonna happen properly. Like, I kind of need to do it just for myself so my mind gives me a break and then I don't have to think about it anymore. But I need to kind of like figure out a couple of things for it first, and I need to kind of figure out how it's gonna look and work kind of thing. Thing is, I want to roll like either a D10 or a D12. D20 would be too much. Yeah, D20. Hey. Or would it? I need to make decisions. So without telling you too much, because I still want it to be a surprise, because I don't know how long this is gonna take me to make, but I need to decide, there's gonna be a goal to the game, so I need to decide how many months, what is my kind of average goal to reach the goal, what is the frequency in which I want to reach the goal, like how often, you know? Once I kind of do that, then I can kind of average, according to the dice that I would roll, how likely I am to get there and how many kind of steps I need in the way. Because currently, I have no idea. Think about that. I need to kind of decide, I think, how many books as well I want to like set as a goal to read per month, which is such a hard goal for me because I'm just unreliable with myself, like with the reading, especially because I never know what life throws at me, how good my health is, how much I can read, what other projects I have at the moment, how much I just want to relax, or if I'm into a particular binging session on Netflix that I just want to watch that. It's not a big deal if I don't do those books, but I still need to have some type of like somewhat attainable goal for the month. So I'm currently thinking 5, but I might just do 4, but 4 might be just a bit too boring for people to watch in the TBR actual like game. So I might do 5 and just hope to God I can put in mangas and comics. Dice probability calculator. Yes. Total number of dice? Okay, so let's do 15. Check out 15 similar risk and probability calculators. What? No, just tell me. Choose the conditions. I don't have the conditions. I roll them the same. I don't even know if this makes sense anymore. So do I just literally average it out? So if I roll it 20 times, would it literally be 10? It's only 9 o'clock. I have no business being like this. I must console the geek. No, Zeus, you're not a DHL bag. Get out.
One health, but lucky. Yeah.
Do you have a probability calculator for a D20?
I can tell you that, Dave, because each one's 5%.
So what's the average if I roll it 15 times?
You're getting any number.
I need some sort of measure though. Yeah, if I roll D20 15 times over 3 months, how, on average, how many tiles will I move?
Right, so if you roll it an infinite amount of times, you're getting like 10.
10? So it's literally just averaging.
No, the average of D20 would be 11. Because technically you can't get more than 1. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all up to, I mean, like...
So is it literally just averaging?
No, it's just chance. Like,
yeah, but it's still just averaging. The chance of average is just averaging 20.
But not
probably.
Well, 19, because 1 and 20.
I don't think you can tell how much you're going to get.
I mean, you can stabilize.
I don't think there's... Again, I'm not a math magician.
But I'm half math magician and my magic ain't working today.
Somewhere between 1 and 20.
I'll roll D12. I think.
It doesn't make a difference what it is.
It does for scaling stuff. This is embarrassing for me and my kin. I understand you can obviously average something that is pure chance, but still, I need some type of thing. So in my rogue box, which one of you do I like better? I like D12 better. Okay, so 15 times 12 would be the best case scenario is 180. Wait, that's a lot. Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We can add a lot of things. So anyway, worst case is 15 minus 10. My pen ended. This is very chaotic, and I like that pen. Okay, so average case scenario, out of D12 would be 7. 15 is 105 plus, let's say 8. That would be 113. But I could be traveling at a high speed. That is a big. What is low medium? A low average. Logan is still playing D&D, and I think afterwards we'll watch some more of the academy thing. What's it called? The Umbrella Academy. I thought I'm gonna continue reading. I read a little bit today over the lunch break, and now I thought it would be kind of cool to also just squeeze a little bit of reading. I am currently, so I was on page 30 and now I'm on page 48 of Timeline, which so many of you guys said that you loved the movie. So I'm very excited to watch that once I'm finished with this. But I'm really enjoying it. So we don't quite know yet what's gonna happen, but obviously we kind of know there's gonna be something with time, which, you know, only my favorite topic. A couple driving for this little vacation, I think, stumble across, or they think at first that they hit a man, but they find this man in the middle of the desert. They find someone wandering about. They cannot see the car or anything, and they turn around and bring the man, because the man's talking in rhyme, so they don't know what's up. He seems very disoriented. He seems to be also like, his fingers are all a bit weird and like blue. So they turn around and go and find a hospital and put him in a hospital, and he unfortunately dies. He only has 2 things on himself. One is a floor plan of what they think is a monastery, and another thing is this like a little acrylic piece with ICT on it, which is the initials, this technology research place that we also then have the point of view from them. So apparently, like, obviously this was not an authorized travel, which I'm assuming is some sort of time jump. They're just trying, I think they're gonna be trying to like cover it up and see what happens and how it happened, and we don't know too much yet. We also follow a police officer that finds the whole thing a bit suspicious, and the things don't really add up and it's a bit odd, and also a couple of doctors who then look at the x-rays or the MRI scans, and then they see that the fingers, the arteries did not match up from one scan to another. Same with his heart, and this guy was like 71. But obviously most of them are saying like, oh, it must be a machine error, but obviously it won't be. So I don't know who our main characters yet are, but we kind of jump through all of these. I do know that there's gonna be quite a long time until we actually get to like further the plot, but I'm totally fine with it. It's so easy to read. It's just enjoyable. It's just smooth and enjoyable, and I'm intrigued enough. Just having a good time. So that is my plan for now. Might get some tea a bit later, because I was talking a lot at work and I feel like my voice has just gone, because clearly nowadays I just don't really talk much, so that's good. Also finally trying to charge my Kindle, so reading on Kindle, which I haven't done in a while. I'm actually really enjoying it. I just find it a bit more comfortable actually, but I don't always obviously prefer to read it on, because it is a screen, even if you dim it as much as you can, like, you know, so. Hello friends, I've just had the live stream with my Patreon to talk about the book that I finally finished, which is this. Now, on a sadder note, it got 2 stars on Compile. So I will start with the positives, because I really liked a lot of the ideas. As I said, I really enjoyed the tribal aspects. I wish we knew more about it. I really enjoyed the kind of what we learned about the character at the very end, which I'm obviously not gonna say. I like that trope a lot. I really like the deities. I liked some of the super atmospheric bits in the book, but I could not enjoy most of it. I didn't enjoy the way this story was approached, and I didn't enjoy the way that the story wanted to tell so much without delving into the details of anything. So I felt like there were so many plot lines and so many ideas pushed into this 420-page book that you start talking about something and the next page you move on into something else. And because of that, I didn't get to experience and feel it. So I always felt like, I constantly felt like I'm falling short on something. And to top that, I also was really confused in parts because I felt like things were not explained in detail enough for me to invest myself, because there was some lack of knowledge on a lot of parts, which then would further confuse other things on top of it as you go. And my two favorite character dynamics that I really wanted to see explored more from the main character's view were her grandmother and her father, both of whom become irrelevant very early on. And I really wanted that. There is a sibling dynamic that I quite like, the whole sibling part in the middle-ish that I don't want to say more about. Was my favorite part, I think. It was really bizarre, it was very sinister, I really enjoyed that. Everything around I was really struggling with. I was really struggling mainly to pick this book up and then keep reading. I kept moving at the speed of a bullet train, and I was the passenger that didn't get on. And I'm so sad because obviously I wanted to like it, and there were so many good things and promising things, and I think the writing style also didn't help because I found it quite, like, so many times there were so many repetitive descriptions. She felt everything through the goosebumps on her arm and the chill through her spine, and her name from the lips of the person that she has a crush on always sounded like honey and stuff like that. It was extremely repetitive. The themes were also super repetitive without any revelations, so you kind of get bored of that, or I got bored of that around the third time around that it kind of repeats itself. I'm obviously trying to be vague, but like hopefully descriptive enough to let you know why it didn't jive with me. But I also think writing styles are super personal, so you might love it. And I do think that it was still confusing, and I thought maybe I'm just dumb, you know, I'll be the first to admit it. But a lot of the people agreed with me, and I have the live stream tomorrow, and I have a feeling that a lot of people there will agree with me as well, based on what I've seen so far. A lot of people were quite confused, although some people really loved it still. So it isn't necessarily something that's gonna make it or break it for people. I think that plus a lot of other things. I just felt like there was maybe like 15 stories in this one book, and there was not enough time to do any of them justice because it's a relatively short book that took me forever to read. I really struggled to read it. I just didn't want to because I felt frustrated for the lack of exploration of things that I saw and wanted more of, and I was just like, oh, I just want to grab it and hold on to it and like read more about it. But we're already moved on to this next battle or this next agenda, and then 3 pages we're on to something else. Like there are some explorations of literal areas that we're done with in 2 pages, and I'm just like, I wanted more of that. Like I don't know. So it just felt like constant rush but also slow. It's a weird one, but anyway, so unfortunately got 2 books, 2 stars from me. The next Patreon read is the Mexican Gothic, and I'm really excited because I think technically it is my first horror read. So very excited to see what I think. Trying to manage my expectations around 4 stars. And we'll see. Hello, welcome to Saturday. Actually been pretty productive despite the fact that we went to bed at 2 o'clock yesterday. We finished the Umbrella Academy. It was good. I enjoyed myself. Woke up around 10:30, so that was already a late start, but I have put my makeup on. I filmed the Even Light unboxing, which will be already out. Lit their other candle that I'm just obsessed with. It's my favorite so far. In a good, calm mood, which is really nice, but not totally calm because the flat is such a... Look at this. Everything's a mess. Everything's out of the place. So, and I have a lot of sheddies on the floor from opening the parcels, so I need to push everything back in place and like put stuff back, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually edit it and maybe upload it. because screw it, why not? I love those wicks because you can really hear it. I also only ever really burn this for like half an hour to an hour at a time because this like fills the whole bloody room in like 10 to 15 minutes, and I don't want to overdo it with my head, but sometimes I treat myself to a little aromatherapy. I'm just kind of, I feel like I went on here to chat so I don't have to clean. So I'ma go, but I'm also expecting a parcel from my parents today, so I'm just like waiting for the call. Then I'll have to try and struggle to explain how to reach us because there's roadworks where our street is. And then we also have the live stream later on today. I also have like a work call at 5. I have myself a semi-busy day, especially since it's Saturday, but I must go clean. I lied. There's one more thing before I go work. I have a couple of things to open. So this Amazon parcel, which I think I know what it is. Hi, crazy boy. Hello, one other boy. I think this is gonna be Loveless from Alice Oseman. Well, not from Alice Oseman, but and this one's not soaked in wine. This is just a replacement because my first one came in extremely like water damaged. Like I take damage books, I don't really care. Water damage is the only thing that I kind of like, unless it's like completely ripped, or water damaged when it's like super morphed and it was like whole bunch like morphed and stuff. So I asked for a replacement, so there we go. I read her Radio Silence and I actually really liked it. It wasn't like mind-blowing because there are some flaws I didn't particularly like about it, but overall I did really enjoy it, so I thought I will give it another go. This is about starting university and Georgia makes a plan to find love, but when her actions wreak havoc among her friends, she questions why romance seems so easy for other people, yet not her. With new terms thrown at her, asexual, aromantic, Georgia is more uncertain about her feelings than ever. So it's a lot about exploring your sexuality and stuff like this, which I generally speaking put myself under a broad umbrella of bisexual, but there's probably other stuff going on yet. So, you know, it's never too late to delve into that. So here we go, I have this one. But then I also received a Fairy Loot box, which is not a Fairy Loot box, I'm pretty sure. Look! It's my Red Rising set from Fairy Loot. So pretty. This is something I'm still yet to read, but I think I actually might suggest it for the read review, because I think there is a lot of them that also have not read it, and it would be fun to experience this together. Might not win though, but ooh, pretty foil. And also pretty sprayed edges. So we have Red Rising, which is this purple with red foil. And on the back it says, I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war. Then we have my favorite, I think, not like the book, but from the look of it, which is this like beige, like, you see it, with golden foil, and says, now I am their sword and I do not forgive, I do not forget, and it has purple edges, and I think this is the combo of colors is. Then we also have Morning Star, which is dark blue with a blue foil. If this is the end, I will rage towards it. So pretty. Okay, now I really, okay, now I go work. It's Sunday morning, as you can very clearly see from this. I don't know why, but I woke up feeling really kind of I mean, I really want today to be a chill day. I want to take care of myself a little bit, and I think that I really need that. But the bloody birds woke me up so many times tonight. Like, first of all, we only went to bed again at like 2. I tried and it still only happened at 2. But overall I'm just like kind of tired, kind of cranky, and I'm sure that that's what's doing this as well. Hello-sies. Hi, okay, sorry. So that's where I am today. So tired. I also really want to go and continue reading Timeless, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna have like a chill morning, grab a bite or something, and I read a little bit of that. Good morning, it is Monday. I am currently editing the vlog. kind of seeing if there's enough for me to even post. Because I feel like it's been an odd one. I don't know, I've been feeling like that since last one as well though. But I wanted to update you on, so yesterday was a very bad migraine day, so as we know I have sometimes. It actually started getting worse throughout the day, so I started like okay, and then I had a little live stream with the Patreons and we read together and it was really cool, and then afterwards it just completely shut down, so I didn't film anything, I don't think, but I did read quite a bit. I've actually read like 160 pages I think, or something like that, of Timeline, which I'm finally getting the name, Timeline. And so thoughts, I'm 40% into it, so there's still quite a bit to go, because this is apparently like a 500, it's like a tome. I didn't kind of know that when I was going into this, but this is a book that obviously I think people know it from the name. It deals with time travel or space travel, like they prefer it. And this is definitely a book that tries to explain it to you, like one of the rarer cases I think where they try to actually explain how time travel works in quite a great detail. I am kind of like seeing some of the, like, I don't know if that can be done. Can it be done in conjunction with also the plot that books must have? So there are things that I'm like nitpicking at, but maybe that's just me. Like, I don't think that it matters that much, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't actually even bother me when they don't try to, like if like someone accidentally stumbles across a machine and they don't know how it works. But because we're following scientists, it wouldn't make sense to not know how it works. It was also very interesting seeing the take that they're going with. It's definitely a slower start. I think it needed like 100 pages before like we got to like action kind of thing. It was a lot of build up, and I'm like a little bit in two minds, because when we're talking about the time travel and the quantum physics and stuff like that, and there's that side of things, I really enjoy it, especially when we are in ITC, which is the corporation, company, whatever you want to call it, like science facility that has this technology. I really enjoy those parts. But then the whole thing kind of centers around, and this is not a spoiler because it's in a synopsis, but basically there's like excavation and rebuilding works in this town in France at current time, and then they find a letter or like a note from the professors that is working with them, but it's dated way back in like 1300s. So because he got lost there, and so anyway, and we do focus on a lot on that little town in the 1300s, and that side of things not too interested in, like the actual. So I don't know how much we're gonna focus on like historical stuff, and this is coming from someone who actually originally got accepted to uni for history. History was a big love of mine, but 1300s France town, not really where not really where my interests lay. So I'm hoping we're not gonna focus too much on that, but we'll see, because I've just started, kind of like, it's just funny because I'm on page 200 2 or something, 203, and we've just kind of started exploring. I'm trying really hard not to spoil stuff here, so I'm gonna just shut up. But so I hope to continue reading this, because it really motivates me knowing that you guys said that there is a movie, so I really want to finish this so then I can just watch a movie with Logan. So that works wonders on my motivation, which I must keep in mind, and then maybe do that with other things, because it really helps me, because I'm just like, oh, I wonder how this is going to be done in the movie. Watch it be skipped, like those parts that I'm just like, oh, I wonder how that's gonna look, and then they skip it, which is fine. But I'm really excited to watch the movie as well, so that also helps me read this. So whilst I started this being extremely excited, now I'm like 3-4 stars, maybe 4. Still kind of 4, like it really depends on the second half of the book. I'm going to like wrap this up, possibly take the next week off vlogging. I'm not quite sure. I'll see throughout the week if there's something to vlog or not. But I want to kind of focus a little bit more on that other book that I haven't finished yet, and I really want to, but I keep like, if I keep vlogging, then I need to read something else for the vlog, and then that one keeps pushing away, and I kind of want it over with because I started in like March, and because when I started a project, my little self, I don't think that I even knew knew what's gonna happen with COVID and anything. So it's gonna be a pain. It's gonna be so painful. I hope you guys are extremely well. Thank you so much for always being so awesome and being so kind. Make sure to take care of yourself, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.